The first time I saw her, the world seemed to slow down. Not in that cinematic cliché way people talk about love, but in a way that felt almost cruel, as if time itself wanted me to stay in that moment, memorizing every detail of her. Her trembling laughter, her shy glance, the way she tucked her hair behind her ear, as if she were hiding from something only she could see. I didn't know then that loving her would feel like standing too close to beautiful, warm, but inevitable. Before we go deeper into this story, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to Whispers of Kindness for more emotional and cinematic story that touch the heart. Her name was Ela, and she belonged to someone else. We met at a friend's engagement party, one after those gatherings where music mixes with laughter and regret, where every honor tries too hard to look happy. She was standing near the balcony, holding a glass she hadn't touched, her eyes lost in the city lights. I didn't plan to talk to her. I only wanted to admire her from a distance, to carry her image back home like a quiet ache I'd tuck away. But she turned and smiled. That smile ended me. "Do I know you?" she asked. "Not yet," I replied. And she laughed. That soft, careful kind of laugh that says, I shouldn't be doing this, but I will anyway. We talked that night like old friends who had found each other after years of silence. The way she spoke, thoughtful, uncertain, always pausing before finishing a sentence, made me want to fill her pauses with promises. But promises meant danger because the man she came with, Armon, was her fiancé. He joined us midway, his hand rested firmly on the small of her back, claiming her without a word, his eyes scanning the room like he was guarding something precious. I smiled politely, pretending not to notice how her grip tightened around her glass whenever he answered questions meant for her, how her gaze drifted away each time he said her name, like the sound of it weighed her down. That night, I promised myself I'd disappear from her life quietly. I didn't. In the weeks that followed, fate, or maybe pure foolishness, kept placing us in the same rooms. Group dinners, family gatherings, casual run-ins that felt far too deliberate to be accidents. Every conversation hovered dangerously close to a line neither of us should cross. Joke held half a second too long, a look that said more than words ever could. I told myself it was harmless, that I was imagining things. But there was nothing innocent about the way she looked at me, like she was holding on to something she wasn't allowed to touch. One night, after everyone had left, she asked if I could walk her to her car. It was late, the air heavy with the scent of rain. City lights shattered across the wet pavement like fallen stars. We walked in silence until she stopped at her door and finally faced me. "You shouldn't look at me like that," she whispered. "How do I look at you?" I asked softly. "Like I'm something you're not supposed to want." I forced a small, sad smile. What if I don't know how to stop? Her breath hitched, and the world froze between us, her racing heartbeat. My thinning self-control, distant thunder rolling like a warning. Then she said the words that would echo in my mind for months. "Don't make it so obvious when he's around." I should have walked away. I should have ended it there. But her voice followed me home that night, settling into my thoughts like a quiet curse. I didn't want to be the one who broke. Days turned into weeks, and her wedding crept closer, like a storm everyone else pretended not to see. People celebrated, smiles everywhere, except hers. I saw fear behind her happiness, the tiredness beneath her laughter. And I hated him, not because he had her, but because he never truly saw her. The night days before her wedding, I found her sitting alone on the old pier, rain soaking her hair and clothes, the city lights blurred into streaks on the water. I don't know what drew me there, maybe fate, maybe sheer desperation. She didn't even flinch when she saw me. "I can't do this," she whispered, voice shaking. "He doesn't love me. Not really. He loves the idea of me, nothing more." My heart clenched. "Then don't marry him," I said quietly. "Run away with me." She looked up, rain mingling with tears on her cheeks. "You think love is enough, don't you? Isn't it?" Her words cut deep. "No," she breathed. "Love doesn't build a life. It burns it down." She rose, walking slowly toward me, and cupped my face with hands so gentle I almost questioned if they were real. "You'll find someone who can love you freely," she said. "But I can't be that person. Not now." And then she kissed me. Not a spark of beginning, but the weight of an ending. The kind of kiss that writes the final line of a story you never wanted to finish. The next day, she married him. I didn't attend, but later I saw the photos, her in white, the practiced smile she wore for everyone else, him holding her hand like possession itself. The world cheered what my heart quietly mourned. Months slipped by. I tried to bury myself in work, in fleeting faces, meaningless chatter meant to fill the silence, but never the emptiness she left behind. I told myself I'd forget her. I failed. Then, one quiet afternoon, my phone rang. "I need to see you," she said. Her voice was softer, weighted with a pain I could feel through the line. We met at a tiny cafe, one of those rare places where broken hearts go to be handled gently. She looked thinner, exhausted, but those eyes still that spark made me forget how to breathe. "I left him," she said finally. "He was cheating. With my friend." I didn't know how to respond. All I could think was, fate isn't cruel. It's just painfully honest. People don't see each other the way they should. She said, a bitter smile tugging at her lips. "You were right. He never saw me." "Not really," I admitted. "And now?" I asked, leaning closer. She gazed out the window, tracing raindrops as they ran down the glass, each one a tiny, fleeting mirror of the storm outside. "Now, I'm free," she murmured. "But it doesn't feel like freedom. It feels like losing something I never really had." I reached for her hand. For once, she didn't pull away. "Maybe," I said gently, "freedom is what comes after the loss, not before it." Her smile was small, fragile, and for a fleeting second, I saw her, the girl on the balcony, trembling, laughter and all. We didn't get a fairy tale ending. Life rarely writes them. But that day, we sat together, side by side, saying nothing, letting silence stitch up some of the wounds time hadn't yet healed. Sometimes love doesn't last forever. Sometimes it simply gives peace before this story closes. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe to Whispers of Kindness, where every story shows that even the love that hurts can teach us how to feel deeper and live fuller. Years later, I heard she moved to a new city, teaching at a small art school. I never reached out again, but sometimes when a balcony glimmers with city lights or rain hits the pavement just right, I think of her. I think of the words she whispered. "Don't make it so obvious while he's beside me." She was right. I wanted her too much. But maybe that's what love truly is. Wanting someone so deeply that even after they're gone, a part of you keeps looking for them in every face, every fleeting moment, every quiet ache that lingers. And maybe that's okay. Some people aren't meant to stay. They're meant to remind us how fiercely the heart can feel, and how beautifully it can survive, even after breaking.